So hi guys and welcome to our first coding video, and today we're gonna learn coding, and also all these videos are gonna be at night in Australia. So yeah.
Basically because you cannot sleep.
Yeah.
That's why we instead of bedtime story we do bedtime coding. So that's where this name comes from. We call it bedtime coding.
Yeah.
So today we do the introduction to what we're gonna do. So I think first we need to introduce who are we.
So we're like Ginger XY, and
who are you?
I'm Neal. Yeah.
You're 9 years old.
Yeah.
So you begin to learn coding this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am your dad.
Yeah.
My title is VP of Architecture. Do you know what that means?
Not really.
Basically, do a lot of coding stuff. So then you get the architecture title, and the VP is like vice president. So basically in charge of the architecture in a company.
Okay.
So my company is an international SaaS company. It's a software as a service company. So I've been working on the coding kind of industry for 16 years. Who are you? That's who we made those videos for. So first to say you are interested in coding. So like young kids like you who just started.
Yeah.
And this is also for grown-ups, like adults who want to find a coding job.
Yeah, but we're only learning like a tiny bit.
Yeah, you don't need to, you don't, like, for any people, you don't know where to start coding. This is like the beginning of how you can learn.
Okay. And just to say, if you are doing like Scratch, we're not going to do Scratch anytime.
Yeah, so Scratch is this type of drag and drop coding, blocks in a game, whatever, you make animations. It's different from the real world coding. Scratch is useful, it's a useful tool, but it's not gonna solve all your problem when you want to do like coding for
like Scratch,
a job or something like that.
Sometimes I figured out something like, I was like, oh, I wish there was a blocker like that, and I don't know how to make it like
so
that.
So this is the unlimited version of coding that you don't have to be limited to Scratch.
And you have more, like, if it was Scratch with the coding, it would be like Scratch, but like infinite blocks.
But also, this is not something like professional coding books or lessons. That's very boring. We don't want to be very boring and long and whatever.
So it's very short.
So if you don't have much time, you're too busy finding a dedicated time blocks, like you do a lot of things like us every day, learning, working. You can't focus on a coding lesson video for very long hours.
Or like classes.
Yeah, class.
I do take Scratch coding classes.
Yeah. So this is more like something for normal human who want to learn it naturally. It's not. It's not
I tried learning coding like the JavaScript by my whole self.
So we don't want those complex professional wording and all those things, but we try to explain you in a natural, human, understandable way. And last but not least, you don't need to be an expert in math. Coding is not math. It's not. You have to know a lot of math, like Neal just know like primary school math. That's totally fine. And then next question is why coding? Why we want to learn coding?
Well, it first started at school. When I started inspecting the page and then deleting the whole entire page. Like deleting the websites through all the code.
Yeah, that's just in the browser, but it's cool, right? People think it's cool.
Yeah.
They think you're a hacker. And also for grown-ups, coding jobs pay a lot. Yeah.
Like $800.
$800 per day or something. So also it solves real-world problems, right? For example, you use an iPad, you use computer. The next reason I think is it's speaking the computer's language. So it's not that's why it's not math, it's more like a language. So it's like you're talking to the computer and ask the computer to do certain things that computers are better at than human, right? But you can do like a very large number of calculation, but computers can do that easily, right? Yeah, so AI is artificial intelligence now is very popular. So if one day AI get real intelligence and dominates the world, at least you speak their language, right? You can survive.
Maybe not. They'll attack you first because you created it and it doesn't want you to code it.
They want to kill everyone knows coding, so we shouldn't learn it. Yeah. Then you need to pretend you don't know coding. I think that's just kidding jokes around and.
In the game in Roblox, there was minions and the low AI was so low.
Yeah.
So
AI is still not there yet. We need to help them.
They're like so slow.
Talking about Roblox, it's very creative game. So
Yeah.
coding also make you to be
There also
very
is
creative.
coding in Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox is coding as well. So potentially you can create your world. So.
Yeah, you could create like a video game world and nothing can stop you.
Yeah, you can create your own world and you're God in your own world.
Yeah, but it does take time.
Yeah, that's why we need to learn from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. So what can we learn here?
Well, we're just gonna learn tiny things.
So this is an old saying. It says, give a man fish and you feed him for a day. Like someone's hungry, you give him a fish. He can eat it. He can survive for that day. But if you teach a man to fish, how to fish,
like coding.
And you feed him for a lifetime because he knows how to fish. He can catch a fish tomorrow. He can feed himself. So this is what we are trying to do here. We start with Python.
Yeah.
It's relatively easy to begin and a versatile enough language.
Probably for learning.
And back to the saying, we want to teach you how to learn coding, not just how to coding. It's like how to learn more coding, not just a specific coding language, Python, JavaScript, whatever. Yeah. So if necessary, we can learn other popular languages. Those are all the things on the table. It's fine if you want to learn. So you mentioned JavaScript. You want to make a website, HTML, CSS.
I mainly want the HTML and the JavaScript. I mostly want to learn that.
Yeah. We also learn about the coding tools that programmers nowadays actually using. Like from my work, what are people using to do the coding? What are the tools, help you to make it more efficient? Not sure you know something about database.
Not really,
Yeah.
but I think
at least you've heard the word database. Yeah.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
I just know the word, but I don't know what it is.
When I was your age, I don't know database as well, so don't worry about that. That's something we will cover later.
But key value.
That's the types of databases.
Yeah.
Key value is a type of database. Relational is a type.
I think I understand it a bit. It's like earlier.
So those are the types of databases.
Like the value of something, like plus.
No, not really. We'll cover that later. You don't need to know about that. But for someone.
That's for the operators.
For someone, maybe an adult who's looking for a job, they might need to learn those. But not now. But we will cover those in the future. Cloud computing. I think you know about that a little bit.
What?
Cloud computing. Do you know?
Oh, like the cloud that saves things for.
Yes.
Oh, I've done that. I've actually done it with variables.
So those are the famous cloud computing companies or products.
Yeah.
Those doesn't even make sense to you at all, but those are the systems that will be useful when you need to make a very large scale system. So like you want everyone to play your game, then you need to know all those systems. You don't need to know now, but those are things we can cover in the future. And have you heard of the blockchain,
For like
Bitcoin?
big tickle.
Okay, so all those cutting edge stuff will come later. That's all for the introduction part.
Yeah.
So the next step we will talk about
Yeah.
0 and 1s. So if you want to keep learning, what do you need to do?
Just click on the link.
No, you just subscribe.
Yeah, you need to subscribe actually. So
Turn on the
the
bell.
coding only is for subscribed people.
No, it's not. It's for everyone.
Probably.
It's for everyone.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking if we could make the lessons, but this intro would be like that. That was what I was thinking. So probably the end for this video. So bye.
Bye.